Welcome to this tutorial on the elements of an effective thesis statement, brought to you by the Gaston College Writing Center. We'll discuss what a thesis statement is and what goes into writing a good thesis for your college paper. So let's get started. Have you ever sat down to write a paper for class and found yourself staring at a blank document, feeling aimless and unsure what to write? If the answer is yes, you may need help forming your thesis statement. The Wadsworth Handbook, 10th edition, defines a thesis statement as the main idea of your essay, the central points your idea's support. In other words, it is the purpose or argument of your essay. Once you understand the purpose of your paper, it will be much easier to begin writing. It will also help you stay focused and organized while writing. Typically, your thesis will be one sentence and will be located at the end of your introductory paragraph, which is a powerful position within your paper. You've already set up the background and context for your topic in the introductory paragraph, and now you deliver your paper's overall purpose before heading into the body of your paper. According to the Wadsworth, there are 4 important points to understand prior to creating your thesis statement. The first important point is one we've already gone over. An effective thesis statement clearly communicates the main point of your paper. Again, this will help you stay focused as you write and will help your readers readily understand your purpose. A second important point to understand is that a thesis statement is not just a statement of general knowledge or an announcement of your intent for the paper. It's important when forming your thesis to make an actual disputable claim. For example, cats and dogs are mammals is not a disputable statement. It is common knowledge that cats and dogs are mammals. However, if my thesis were, "Cats are better pets than dogs," I would be making a claim. Someone else could disagree with me and claim that dogs are better pets than cats. Now I have the opportunity to convince my reader of my argument in the body of my paper. Be cautious here of simply stating the intent of the essay. For example, don't say, "In this paper, I will prove that cats are better pets than dogs." You do not want to directly refer to yourself or the paper. It draws the reader's attention away from your claim. A third point to understand prior to building your thesis is that your thesis statement needs to be worded carefully. The Wadsworth sums it up best. Because it communicates your paper's main idea, your thesis statement should be clearly and accurately worded. You will want to avoid vague language, overly complicated words, and wordiness. Finally, a thesis statement can outline your paper. It can briefly and concisely mention the main supporting points you plan to use to back up your argument. This is sometimes called a roadmap. Going back to the sample thesis statement discussed earlier, an example of a thesis containing a roadmap would be, "Cats are better than dogs because they are cleaner, require less attention, and are far cuddlier." The first part of this statement contains the actual argument of the paper. The second part of the statement is the roadmap of the thesis. This shows the reader that you plan to use 3 main supporting points to prove your thesis. Cats are cleaner, cats require less attention, and cats are cuddlier. It is important when writing your roadmap to mention your supporting points in the order that you will discuss them in your paper. This will provide an outline or map for your readers, allowing them to know where you plan to take them. A roadmap-style thesis is a good place to start, but as you advance in your academic career, your thesis statements will likely become more complex. Keep in mind that developing a good thesis statement can be a process. As you write the body of your essay, which is the support for the claim you made in your thesis, your ideas and your understanding may build and develop. You may end up exploring an angle of your topic that you did not initially consider. It is good to reevaluate your thesis statement after finishing the paper to see if it still fits with what you actually wrote. Strong writers will always take time to reconsider and revise their thesis statement.